Now we turn our attention to the final heat out of 6 for X30 Senior. Race 12 of the meeting, and it is Heat 6, Groups B versus C. Here's your starting grid. Farid Jalil starts once again, well, for this time on pole position. Victor Louis, can he go 3 for 3 this weekend and put himself into pole position for Superheat A tomorrow? He lines up on the outside of the front row. His closest rival, an RSD karting teammate who's also got 2 wins to his credit, lines up on the inside of row 2. That's Charlie Gloom in the 245, and he'll be joined by Yenny Bouillet on the second row. Stig de Rademacher and Mathis Marchand to round out row number 3, ahead of Pepin Steiger and Aurelio Giustinelli. Boris Verhagen, Kevin Bakker round out the top 10. Max Hazel and Adam Vida on row number 6. Luca Mollard and Danny Burrs round out row 7. Angelo Milly and Clément Outron round out row 8. Kazuat House and Bertrand Saxe round out the top 9 rows, completing the top 20. It's Tom Schultz and Spencer Allen. Matt Pereira-Simon, Mathis Blanquert, Senna Meunier and Roman Saleh round out the 24-strong grid. So with the drivers being there on their official formation lap. The red lights are ignited on the starting gantry. Some of the drivers coming down into Cafe Corner are weaving from side to side. And once they go past the red line of no return, which is just after the signage for the pit lane entry, it will be a case of wherever Gloom and Louis finish in this race, whoever's in front of the other, I think, will take the top spot in the intermediate classification after the heats. So, Farid Jalil and Victor Louis on the front row of the grid. They head into the tram lines, revs up, lights on, and the lights go out for the final heats in X30 Senior this weekend. And it is going to be Farid Jalil leading the way. Victor Louis looks of possibly lost out a little bit as one goes 2 wheels on the grass, gets forced right to the outside of the runoff area, coming through the opening corner as it's 3 wide at the back end of the field. Someone goes grass tracking off of turn 3. And a couple of the drivers, including one of the Victory Lane drivers, tried to slingshot round the outside at turn number 5 as we head into hole 3 wide. This could be very close for contact. And there's a little bit of touch in between 2 or 3 carts. One gets turned into a spin off of the entry into turn number 8. And that is the 247 that gets turned around. Danny Burrs in the cart from the Netherlands. WJS Racing. Had a good chat with that young man on Thursday and arrived in the afternoon. Someone who's making some big inroads at the moment is Kevin Bakker in the 255. So he was the one trying to go around the outside. But in the meantime, who is leading after the opening lap? It is going to be Charlie Gloom. Farid Jalil having a bit more luck this time. He's got Stig de Rademacher to the inside. And here goes Victor Louis also as well. So strength in numbers. RSD Karting trying to box out the man from CG Motorsports. And de Rademacher moves up to seniors for 2026. And behind them, well, you've got, Boris Verhagen was behind. It's now Mathis Marchand, who I think is up into P5. Boris Verhagen down to 6th. So he's probably got the likes of Pepin Steiger, Aurelio Giustinelli, Kevin Bakker, Max Hazel, Angelo Milly, as now bit of a concertina effect going through into turn number 8 with Boris Verhagen at the front of the train. He runs wide coming out of turn 9. Max Hazel has to put on the stoppers coming out of turn 9 behind Kevin Bakker. So it is, well, all I'm going to say is this. you've got Charlie Gloom, RSD Karting, Stig de Rademaker, RSD Karting, Faris Jalil, who's now fourth behind Victor Louis. So top three for RSD Karting. Add also to that fifth, de Rademaker new fastest lap, 109.527. There could be a change here. Oh, that was so close between Victor Louis and Faris Jalil. Mathis Machot was trying to wrestle his way on the steering wheel and past. Faris Jalil trying to get through into turns 3 and 4, but the 201 from Belgium unable to get through. But this could be very dicey what's happening here, and this is a little bit further back. It might have been, well, you've got Max Hazel is there, along with Pepin Steiger, Angelo Meli, Aurelio Giustinelli. One of those carts is a victory lane vehicle. That is Kevin Bakker. So Kevin Bakker will be probably behind Pepin Steiger, I would imagine. But in the meantime, Charlie Gloom looking to make it 3 for 3. And even if Stig de Rademaker wins this race, Charlie Gloom, on the benefits of the doubt in terms of position, well, Faris Jalil now drops into 5th position because Mathis Machot has got through. So all 4 carts in the top 4 now adorned with the brightly coloured livery of RSD Karting. I did say about strength in numbers, and RSD have brought a crackpot squad of drivers who can really pedal these carts along very quickly indeed. And in the meantime, Boris Verhaag now ahead of Max Hazel, who's up 4 spots. Angelo Meli in the number 328 for PJM, now up into 8th position as to the inside. On the 328, as I said, Angelo Meli has just been overtaken up the inside through at turn 10 by Kevin Bakker. So Kevin Bakker gets through. And a nice bit of work there. Meantime, Stig de Rademaker has been closing the gap to Charlie Gloom. And as it stands now, Charlie Gloom, once all the dust has settled in Senior X30 after the heats, will be the leader for the intermediate classification after heats with 3 wins. That's a maximum score of 150 points. Effectively, Victor Louis at the moment runs in P3, which is 41 points. That'll put him on, it'll be 150, plays 141, heading into the super heats where there will be more points available. I think if memory serves me correctly, 75 points for a super heat win. But the time is counting down, and with it, the opportunity for Stig de Rademaker. Well, he's trying to close that gap under braking going into turn 1. There have been times when Gloom has only just been fractionally in front of de Rademaker, but Gloom is making it work. Victor Louis is 2.5 seconds behind the race leader in 3rd place. Mathis Machot, Faris Jalil, Boris Verhaag, Max Hazel, Kevin Bakker, Angelo Meli, and Pepin Steiger rounding out your top 10. Clément Outron not having such a great run is the the driver from France in the 289 for Dream Racing. But in the first 2 heats, he really made sure that he was making sure that he said, well, you know, I'm never here to make up the numbers. I'm here to race and win. Meantime, Kevin Bakker is once again closing in on drivers in front. And he's going to get, I think, might get the move done on possibly I'm wondering if it might... Yes, Boris Verhaeghe's got through on. So there we go. Kevin Bakker, another driver that has changed teams in the off-season. As we have 2.5 minutes to go left on the timer, plus an additional lap. And Kevin Bakker looking to get through on the CG Motorsport cars of Farah Jalil. At the moment, the 277 was not making it easy, but this time it could also open the door for Boris Verhaeghe, and they both get through. Farah Jalil loses a further 2 positions, drops from 6th to 8th, but a mistake from Boris Verhaeghe. That's going to allow Angelo Milly from PJM to get through, and does so. Boris Verhaeghe, one of the new additions, well, the new additions to the MP kart racing team. Has run out of Ubeyelan, just outside of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And someone has gone very, very deep into the penultimate corner, so someone has lost a big lot of real estate. We're into the final 1 minute and 35 seconds of this race, plus that additional lap. And at the minute, Farah Jalil, I have to give credit where credit is due. The first 2 races haven't gone quite his way after what was a fantastic qualifying for the person that was quickest in Group 2 of time qualifying. Gets a little bit of a slight love touch from behind, courtesy of Angelo Milly, who's like saying, "Oh, come on, man, let me get through." Well, if you've got to try and do the old bump and run, it's not going to work in your favour. You've got to get through nice and cleanly. Meantime, Boris Verhaeghe has just opened the barn doors wide open for the 2 behind to get through. And that was both Clément Outran and Luc Moulard. Whereas someone has gone wide. I think that might have been Outran. Moulard gets through. And Outran rides on the rear bumper, heading down into turn 10. So effectively, we've got, coming up now, 2 laps to go. And there has been a change in the race lead. Stig de Rademaker, in the meantime, has got the fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 8.025. He's now 6.25 tenths of a second up the road from Charlie Gloom. Victor Louis rounds out the top 3, and he's been having a bit of a solo race, as is Mathis Murshart. Here's RSD Karting stablemate Max Hazel in the number 399 for CV Performance and JP Performance. Of course, JP Performance, known as one of the biggest tuners, has a big showroom in Dortmund in Nordrhein-Westfalen in Western Germany. I had the opportunity of seeing the outside of that whilst I was making my way from Dortmund Airport to the Messe, to the exhibition hall back in 2023 it was. But the timer has expired on the final heat today for X30 Senior, and Stig de Rademaker is going to make it 4 different winners from 6 different heats, but more to the point where Charlie Gloom is at the moment. He is on course to be the highest ranked individual on 144 points, playing to 141 for Victor Louis, which will effectively put them at the sharp end of the fields, respectively, for both superheats tomorrow morning. But Stig de Rademaker going to make sure that he has a great showing at his new team, and also the fact that he can come over from a squad that he was with a long time member of Fusion Benelux. But Stig de Rademaker is going to make his intentions known that, yes, I might be a rookie, but I still know how to wheel a kart around a track. Stig de Rademaker wins the final X30 Senior Heat. And, well, would you look at that? It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for RSD Karting. Stig de Rademaker takes victory. Charlie Gloom takes P2. Victor Louis, P3. Mathis Murshart, 4th. And with that, Charlie Gloom, by my provisional calculations, has taken overall top spot out of 49 drivers in X30 Senior, which will effectively put him on the good foot moving forward and superheat a pole position for tomorrow. Max Hazel next up in 5th, ahead of Kevin Bakker, Angelo Milly, Clément Outron, Luc Moulin and Boris Verhaag round out your provisional top 10. Fares Jalil, no matter how much the man fought, he still ended up just outside of the top 10, but nevertheless a gallant effort for the 277 from CG Motorsport. Yanni Bouillet, Adam Vida, Romain Saleh and Pepin Steiger round out your top 15, ahead of Aurelio Justinelli, Senna Meunier, Spencer Allen, Mathis Blanquet and Matt Pereira Simon rounding out your top 20. Bertrand Saxe, Kaz Oldhaus, Danny Burs and Tom Schultz bring up the rear of the field. All 24 drivers making it to the checkered. Well, that's it. Stig de Rademaker rules the roost in Heat 6, but it's Charlie Gloom that's definitely top of the pecking order.